Collister, the master opponent. Hi guys, continuing on, we're going to go to the next Mega Man Legacy Collection, which I am also playing on the Switch, and do Mega Man 7. Mega Man 7 was released in 1995 on the SNES after the second Mega Man X game. There's a prologue that they skip out in the Legacy Collection that I wanted to include. A carry on from the events of Mega Man 6. And then, So, continuing on at the end of the previous game in the Mega Man X series, where, Sigma says that Zero was the last of Wily's creations, and there had to be a way for Wily to get out of prison. This game explains how it happens. So without further ado, let's begin. Mega Man doesn't like the metal helmet. Otto has a decent sense of humor, especially in Mega Man 11. So, here we go. There's another intermission before the game starts. That's the prison Wily was in, and now he's free. So, off we go. Due the frame rate, icons like characters and stuff may be invisible during the video while they're supposed to be flickering. That's the machine you see in the opening cutscene. Just jump and shoot him in the face, and try not to stay on the ground as he lands from his jump. And you can destroy him easy. And then you meet this guy. And he tests your skills, basically. Bass and treble. Another example of the many music references the Mega Man series has with its character names. Now, this game goes along with the Game Boy Mega Man games, which I already played on the channel before. You have 4 Robot Masters at the start of the game, and get the other 4 after you defeat them and a boss just in between. Of the first 4, I start with Burst Man. Got these countdown platforms. The Bunby tanks will separate into a Bunby heli if you destroy the treads first, so shoot them in the head instead. Go down this way for an energy tank. You go to the next page to find them. There are these bomb bubbles you gotta back away from while shooting them. You have more potent jumping while underwater, so be careful of the spike ceiling. And it can be pretty tough to land hits on the swim metals. Alright, sub-boss through here. Then after this lobster-type boss is destroyed, the chemical gets, corrupted with some kind of residue from the boss, I guess. And it changes the density of the liquid so that Mega Man floats to the surface while he's in it. You can jump right out of it while you're at the top. Use it to get past spike floors. There are also screws or bolts that'll appear. Collect as many of them as you can if you want to use Auto Shop. We have appearing blocks. Every game in the classic series except Mega Man 8 has these. You know how some people input controls during a game along with the music in parts where they have to wait? I do that every so often. Burst Man is easy if you memorize his movement pattern. Just use a fully charged shot on him at the right moment and land a few auto-fire hits while dodging the danger wrap. The danger wrap will carry you up and threaten to take you to the spikes, so input left and right rapidly in order to break free of them before they take you to the top. And as you can see, I no damaged him. Master opponent. Right, so that's one boss down. In this game, Dr. Light gives you a word of advice on an alternate use or a tip about the special weapons after you get them. In the Japanese version of the game, they also have some intermissions where he'll talk with Roll or Otto instead. Not sure why those and the subtitles for what the stages are like were removed in the Japanese version of the game. Oh well. So we're gonna do Cloud Man next. There are these up and down like enemies in between platforms. Ready a charge shot before you cross. These purple robots will move down in a Z shape and will cancel their flight pattern early if you shoot the lead one. Even if you avoid that first weather changer so that it doesn't rain, it'll still rain once you climb to the top anyway, so you might as well just shoot it. Luckily, the rain doesn't push you backward like it does in Mega Man 4, for example. Now here's a real fun part, crossing invisible platforms that only show where they are after you approach them at just the right amount. You make one wrong step, you fall and die. We're gonna get the rush letter after I beat the first 4 main bosses. There's a secret about it that I want to show you anyway. I'd recognize that whistle anywhere. little bit of advice there. You can press L and R to cycle through your special weapons. You still have to pause the game manually to access the rush items, though. The PPs can be excellent for grinding for bolts if you want to rack up a bunch of bolts for auto shop. Just hold a charge shot and release it as soon as the main PP drops the egg, and the blast will destroy all the little ones at once and make them drop items that they may drop. Gotta be careful of the Matasamuros here. They can suck you in as well as push you back in this stage. And then Cloudman's weakness is in fact the danger ramp. You can spam at the right moment to make completely pathetic work out of him. Like this. It's all said and done. In the Japanese version of the game, this weapon's called the Thunder Strike. Not sure why they call it the Thunderbolt internationally. So next up, we got Junk Man. They removed the modules in the Legacy Collection re-releases of this game because the modules were specifically made to resemble a Famicom, the Japanese NES, basically. And you obviously can't have Nintendo references in a game that's multi-platform. Like, you know, Mega Man started off as a Nintendo character and kind of became a PlayStation character, like a lot of other third-party franchises. And by the re-releases on the PlayStation consoles, they obviously had to cut the Nintendo references. So, the lava is instant kill, so watch your step here. To hit the roaches easily, you have to have a charge shot ready. A lightly charged shot will do. We're gonna use the Thunderbolt in that specific direction to get the chain mechanism moving. That's an easy way to get the Rush Jet item. Gotta wait for that so it doesn't crush me. You can activate that mechanism to activate magnets that can carry you aside. I recommend not using it though. We're gonna use Rush Jet to get through this part easier. Thunderbolt is Junkman's weakness. His jump will stake you in the ground, and then you're doomed to take damage from there. And his movement pattern can be a little tricky if you try to fight him Buster only. He's not all that tough, though. Alright, we got the junk shield. This leaves Freeze Man. The icy ground will give you low friction and make you slide a little bit, so watch your step. There's the infamous shield attackers. You can slide under them. So. Wait for these ones to drop their spear and use it as a platform to cross the spikes. Like this. It's a little bit tricky to get this one, and if you mess it up, you have to replay the stage. As you can see, it doesn't respawn. Yeah. Any sloppier than that, and I would have failed. So. Moving on. The Sniper Joes are a little bit easier to deal with in this game, since their light flashes just before they shoot you. So you can read them a lot better. This is an easier way to get the Rush Search. Gabules in this game can be destroyed with the Danger Wrap. You can also hold down before you press fire to just drop the bomb only with the Danger Wrap without the bubble. This polar bear will drop icicles after shooting its projectile. Just look up and dodge. Pretty easy energy tank there. Just remember you can only hold 4 of them at once. I can't grab that ladder without using Rush Coil. Never could. Gotta watch out for these sledders. Alright, now let's give Rush Search a try at this specific spot here, shall we? Alright, that's awful. There we go. If Rush barks before he starts digging, it means you used them in a special location where you can get a specific item. like the escape unit, which you can get at that specific spot here in this stage. Freeze Man refuses to move before you do. If you stand still, he'll actually taunt you. And he's pretty tough. Gotta be careful of his bullets, which will freeze you in place. And the junk shield is its weakness. So, there you go. Freeze cracker. That's exactly what he wants you to think. So we have a brief little stage where we're fighting a sub-boss, with references to robot masters from other games. Snake Man, Plant Man, Blizzard Man, Flame Man, Pharaoh Man, Heat Man, and then Skull Man, Ring Man, and Wily's stealing a Guts Man. Not that he's never turned Guts Man into a giant mechanism before. You gotta shoot a buster shot to lop this boss's head off, and then quickly shoot it with the danger wrap. That was a really bad move. So with that, we have access to the other half. Before that, though, we're going to go back and get the remaining circuit plates. Alright, so we're back in Cloudman's stage, where I need to get one of the circuit plates still. If you use the freeze cracker on this weather changer, the rain will turn into snow. And then from there, you'll see that the snow makes the invisible platforms visible, making it easier to navigate. And you can clearly see where the route that takes you to where the circuit plate is from there. Use Rush Coil to get up here. And there it is. If you're in the stage where you beat the boss already, you may use the exit unit to abort it quickly. The Rush Circuit plate in Junkman's stage requires the Freeze Cracker in order to find. The stream of lava here will freeze solid and crumble, revealing a path where you can use it on this stream to break it open and get the circuit plate on the other side. There's also another sub-area to the whole stage you can go through from this route, which I'm not going to include in the video. Gotta get through the game as quickly as possible. Alright, now we're ready to fight the more recent robot masters. I'm gonna start off with the easiest one in my opinion, which is Turbo Man. You have to face a Truck Joe at the start. So, you're gonna have to run away while back shooting charge shots to take him out quickly. While also avoiding enemies that'll speed you without warning. The part where you have to dodge the hanging tires and the spike floors is a bit tricky. So let's use the Rush Super Adapter to get past it easier. While in midair, whether you jump or fall, you can press and hold jump again to do a diagonal dash upward. It makes getting past these a lot easier. Just keep in mind that the Rocket Punch at first has very limited range and is borderline useless. That is, until you go to this specific ledge right here and use the Rush Search. This is the only hidden power-up in the game that you can buy from Auto Shop that can be found with Rush Search that I found on my own without looking up a game guide on the internet first. This will significantly increase the Rocket Punch's range and make it a lot more usable. It's a much better alternative than spending, like 800 bolts at Auto Shop. And after you give him his missing bolts. And yeah, as Proto Man just mentioned, you cannot slide while you have the super armor equipped. That's the con to using that power-up. Now you have to get past some incinerators. You can freeze the flames in place and safely move around them by using the freeze cracker. This is like Quick Man's stage. Any items you see along the way are basically a death trap, so avoid them. And then we have a very boring sub-boss where you have to shoot the eyes of the semi-truck and destroy it that way, while dodging and destroying missiles that are shot at you. I'm gonna get a drink while I'm going through this. Turbo Man's easy. You just have to watch out for the Scorch Wheel, because contact with it will burn you, which will hold you in place and drain your health by 6 notches, pretty dangerously. For the attack where he transforms into the race car, jump as soon as you hear the engine rev. Of course, you couldn't see the fire effect because of the frame rate. Otherwise, he's not hard. So we got the Scorch Wheel. Now we got Slash Man, easily the hardest boss in this game, of the 8 Robot Masters. Jurassic Park Mega Man style, basically. Gotta jump over the logs on the waterfall carefully here. You have to be extra careful while riding on beans, because they are enemies that'll fly towards you. And if they collide with you while you're jumping over the spike tops, you're not gonna survive. Then we got a sub-boss here. Its weakness is supposed to be the jump shield. Now, do you remember what Proto Man told us earlier? You can use the Scorch Wheel to burn the treetops away and destroy the chibis along with them. Just be careful, because the bodies can still damage you even while they're on fire. And then this one has a ladder on it. Going up. Fire a fully charged shot on the cage to break Beat free. And after that, you'll be given 4 Beat calls. Beat will grab Mega Man and carry him up if he falls into a pit from there. Slash Man is without a doubt the hardest of the Robot Masters in this game. Good luck trying to beat him without taking damage. He's actually weak against the Freeze Cracker. And in between hits, and this goes for if you try the Buster only as well, he'll hide and drop these globs that'll stick you in place, and you can only break free of them if you shake left and right rapidly. And there's no telling exactly how he's gonna descend. I was really unlucky and got down to critical health against him, so... This boss is purely luck-based, and I hate that. Anyway, enemies. There's that. Done. The slash claw. Next up, we're gonna do Spring Man. Not to be mistaken with Spring Man from ARMS. This guy has a completely different intention. Keep the jump button held as you bounce along the springs to jump higher. Kinda like with the springs in Plant Man stage in Mega Man 6. The super adapter can also make it a lot easier. Let's use Rush Search in this spot right here. That gigantic energy capsule will recharge your health significantly. And if you use Rush Search again here, I know I'm a little bit out of key with my firing. You'll get a gigantic bolt, which can really rack up your savings for Auto Shop. Keep in mind also that if you use Rush Search with Rush put on the edge of a platform, it'll go to waste, so make sure all of its paws are on a flat surface. Wait for this to shoot on its own, then you can access this area. If you access Auto Shop at any point in the game before this point, he tells you about a special bolt that he's missing, and without it, he can't work properly. That's his special bolt, that item we got earlier. These punchers can make climbing this ledge a bit difficult. There we go. Spring Man's weakness is the slash claw. And if you react fast, you can hit him again with it at just the right moment during his invincibility frame from the damage, before he stays up and does the stretchy punches. So you can beat him quicker. Wow, coil. You can access some auto shop on the stage select screen by pressing minus. We're gonna go there right now. Then auto installs his bolt again. What's with the Japanese flag fan? Alright, there's just one item I want to buy from the shop. The energy balancer. You get it by rush search in a certain spot in the Shade Man stage, which is the last one I'm playing, and it's not in the route that I go in while playing the stage ordinarily. So I'm gonna get it here. Different music. Yeah, I know about the Ghosts and Goblins Easter egg in this game. If you hold B before you select Shade Man stage, you get alternate music inspired by Ghosts and Goblins, an arcade game by Capcom. Same company that made this game. I like this music better than the normal Shade Man stage song. There are 3 background guards that'll attack you with their heads, so approach them carefully. You can only do the Ghosts and Goblins music Easter egg once per playthrough, just so you know. And it has to be the first play of the stage before you defeat the boss. Careful around these smashers. And the way the batons are placed around them can make it a little intimidating. Alright, this boss, Van Pookin, has a couple of different weak spots. You can destroy him by shooting him on the eyes on the outside, or by the core on the inside. And he opens a different path depending on which way you destroy him. I'm gonna go for the core specifically. Well, I shouldn't have done that since there's a Sniper Joe right there. There's another hidden giant bolt right here with Rush Search. First getting into the Mega Man series, I always knew there would be a game where Mega Man and Proto Man would fight each other. This was it. Now you have to find Proto Man and Cloud Man and Turbo Man stages, I think in that order, before he'll appear in this stage for the fight, so keep that in mind. Just shoot a fully charged shot at him in between dashes as soon as he puts his shield down. Suck up. Then yeah, you actually get Proto Man's shield as equipment that you can use. While standing still, the Proto Shield can deflect projectiles, which is especially useful against sniper jokes. Just keep in mind that using the Proto Shield limits your movement a little bit, so I wouldn't recommend leaving it equipped where it's not necessary. Also, even though Proto Man is Mega Man's friend, he can kill you in the battle. Like, he actually kills you if you lose to him, like an ordinary boss would. So, show no mercy. You want to use the Scorch Wheel to light the candles to keep the room from getting dim here. I'm going to use the Thunderbolt to make this part a little easier as well. That board covering the middle window was specifically meant to be a troll. Now then. Besides the alteration in Junkman stage, this stage also has an alteration in the Legacy Collection compared to the original SNES game. In the original SNES game, Bass cusses and says the D word at that part. He says darn in this game, likely so that the game could still be rated E and then E10 later on. You want to use uncharged shots on Shade Man with the Wild Coil, as opposed to charging it if you want to stun him. Right, so that's the last of them. So we got the Noise Crush. What did I tell you earlier? Subliminal manipulation. That'll send anyone over the edge. Alright, so now we got the Wily stages. These are among the hardest in the series, mainly because of base. So... the Wily Capsule is also arguably the hardest fight ever in the classic series. It's no wonder that Wily Capsule was made the assist trophy in Smash Ultimate. These spinner platforms will not only be unstandable on once they reach the indentations of the rails, they also turn the lights off while you stand on them. There are also these lights out platforms with Matasamuros and PPs. You need Rush to get past here. Whether it be Rush Coil, Rush Jet, or the Super Adapter. I'm gonna keep the Super Adapter because it'll make this part easier. Our first encounter in the stage with base. This guy's not a pushover, mind you. Yeah. This transition cancels your charge shot for whatever reason. The main boss you fight here, the Guts Man Abomination that you made the Guts Man out of, it's just as tough as the first fight with base, really. His weakness is the Slash Claw. Specifically, you have to use it to deflect the boulders back into him. And then he has a grab attack that can only be stopped with well-aimed shots with the Buster. I took 3 hits from that and failed all of them in this recording. So... wow. Had to use it. not a fair boss by any means. Now, if you thought that stage was annoying, wait till you see what you got in this one. This is the part of the game that'll make you want to say, "Oh God, please kill me." Forget about it, his weakness is the super adapter. And he has a lot of super armor and hard to dodge moves. So... Base screwed me up so badly that I have critical health, and I couldn't help having to try again at this checkpoint as well. gonna have to move the Gabriel out of the way first. Much needed. Luckily, the main boss is easy to deal with. This giant turtle, I think, is weak against the wild coil, except I'm gonna go Buster against it. I hadn't played this game in a while, and I completely forgot the movement pattern at that specific moment. You need to be extra careful not to get caught in the fire breath. And then I like to use the junk shield to repel the little turtle max that summons. The number you see on the dock indicates the kind of movement that they're going to do against you otherwise. This Wily stage is easy compared to the previous ones. There's also no encounter with base in it, which is good. Tricky invisible floor section here. We're gonna try and take the high route here. We're gonna use Rush Jet to get across here. After the first block moves. In addition to an energy tank, we also get a special tank and a weapon tank. If you go the bottom route, there's a lobster boss like the one in Burst Man stage, followed by a water or chemical racing you upward, and it has a spike troll in it, so you gotta be careful there. The Hanyad, let's go. You want to use the Noise Crush against this boss. Right, so, let's finish this. The final stage is where you'll do the traditional boss rush, followed by what is arguably the hardest final boss in the series. There's a free weapons can for you if you wish. Right, so I'll be back after the boss rush is done. We're gonna recharge the Wild Coil and the Thunderbolt in particular. Use the Thunderbolt and shoot Wily in the face, basically, while sliding under the Smasher. Then these drones he sends at you are very sturdy and take a lot of hits to destroy. So, you want to slide under the machine quickly, or he'll do a jumping attack. So... do. Now we suffer. For serious. Its weakness is the Wild Coil. You have to charge it. It doesn't do that much damage to him. And his attack is extremely difficult to dodge. Of all of them, the ice one is the one you want to try and avoid. So... believe me, there's no easy way to dodge his attack. You just have to do a very carefully aimed jump and slide. So... keeps appearing there, there's gonna be trouble. It's not happening. This is where it ends. Getting a little harsh there. That's true. You can't hesitate. Then you get this scene where Megaman walks away from the destruction of the castle. They remove the flash for photosensitivity reasons. And credits roll. Notice how Megaman's face changes in between acknowledgements for the robot masters created by the Japanese fans. That's Megaman pondering about what he just did, and same with the whole Die Wily nonsense. In the Japanese version of the game, after Wily reminds Megaman that it's against the law for robots to harm humans, Megaman just pauses in silence and has an ellipsis in the dialogue. He doesn't actually scream, "I am more than a robot! Die, Wily!" in the Japanese version of the game. There's quite a lot of alterations in the Japanese and international versions of the games with the text and translation as well, so... That's also why Megaman hesitated to shoot Wily into getting interrupted by Base, so... yeah. Bass and treble. Yet another example of music references in the series with characters' names. Even Bass's Japanese name, Forte, is a music reference. Not sure if Gospel, which is Treble's Japanese name, is or not. And then Otto's Japanese name, Light Tot. That's definitely not a music reference as far as I'm concerned. Then Mega Man's family gets a nice little group photo here. We got Rush yawning and Otto posing with that Japanese flag fan. Lovely. Then at the end of the game, you're given this thank you for playing message with Capcom and the release year. And note the serial code that you see at the bottom of the screen. If you enter this on the password and hold a certain button down while pressing start, you can access a little multiplayer one-on-one minigame where one player controls Mega Man and one player controls Bass, and they fight to the death with certain fighting game moves. You can play it in the Mega Man Legacy Collection, if you have a friend. So, there's another bonus for you. Alright, so that's it for Mega Man 7. I got Mega Man X3 and Mega Man 8 to play up next, so, we can look forward to those later on as well. We got those and plenty more coming up on my channel. So until my next upload, I am Colister, Master of Ponage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys.